Hey, Soldier7 here, and this video I'm going to do a video on the Urban Chaos Riot Response 20-year anniversary. Now, for those of you who do know, recently Urban Chaos Riot Response just had its 20-year anniversary. It was released in May of 2006. Whoa. It's weird. I can't believe it's been that long. It's weird to think that, yeah, time does go quick when you think about it. But for me personally, that doesn't feel like it was that long ago, but it was. But nevertheless, this video will be about Urban Chaos Riot Response, the 20-year anniversary, and I will talk about the game a little bit, as I have before. I've talked about this game before in other videos. And I'm going to talk, but given that it's 20-year anniversary, I'm going to talk about a little bit more, which I've been looking forward to be honest with you. Because you could say that this game is probably my most favorite game of all time. Now, everybody who knows my channel and knows who I am, or is familiar with my channel and familiar with my videos and whatnot, people may know, yes, I'm a Resident Evil fanboy and so forth. Yes, Resident Evil is my most favorite franchise of all time. But favorite game of all time, I would probably give it to this, Urban Chaos Riot Response, if not Resident Evil 4, the original. So yeah. I mean, yeah, I would still favor Resident Evil because there's a lot more games, whereas this is just one game, Urban Chaos Riot Response. But it was a damn good game. It was pretty fucking cool. I remember playing it back in the day, even though it was released in 2006, I didn't really play it until 2007, a year after its release. I found it in the video store and I rented it and brought it home, played it, loved it. It was fucking awesome. And yeah, that's what I just want to talk about. Talk about the game and talk a little bit about it and certain things that I feel like could have been done but not have done, as in I feel like this game should have got more attention than it did. But then again, it was released, I don't know if this had anything to do with it, but it was released in May of 2006, which was just right after the Xbox 360's release the previous year in 2005. And on top of that, you had the PlayStation 3 that was just getting ready to be released later that year. So, and this was only available for PlayStation 2 and Xbox, from what I understand. I don't know if it was available for PC or not. I don't know. But yeah, this was a pretty cool game, and that's what I wanted to say. It was very underrated, and I wish it would have been more noticed than it was. Who knows, maybe its popularity, if it was able to grow more than it did, who knows, maybe we would still be seeing a sequel to it. Now granted, there was a game by Eidos that was called Urban Chaos, which were the same people who I think published this game but not develop it. I think that Urban Chaos game and this Urban Chaos game, Urban Chaos Riot Response, I think the two have no ties whatsoever. But yeah, this game was very underrated, and I wish it got more attention than it did, because if it did, who knows, maybe we would have got a remastered edition or a sequel. Or who knows, maybe by now it would be on PlayStation Classics or Xbox Classics. whatever, doesn't matter. This game was pretty fucking awesome. I'm gonna say that, yeah. I just wish it got more recognition. It got more recognition, yeah. It was a pretty good game. For those of you who do know it, you probably feel the same way, because granted, I can't speak for everyone, but almost everybody who I've talked to who have played this game, from what I know, loved it. That may not be true. I don't remember really hearing anybody complaining about it or saying the game was awful. Maybe, if so, I don't remember. May have been a couple friends of mine that may have said something. I don't know. It was a long time ago. But yeah, even when I still talk about it to this day, and when I bring it up, and when I come across people who have played this game, they say, yeah, it was great. It was cool. And it was pretty cool. It had a pretty interesting storyline, which, I mean, wasn't too much, but what they did with it was pretty interesting. The gameplay was pretty fucking awesome. Like, if you like a rated M for mature game, if you like blood and violence, yeah, this is definitely the game for you, especially if you like first-person shooters. Now, usually I favor third-person over this, but for this I gotta make an exception because it was just pretty fucking awesome. Because when I first played it, I was just blown away. But yeah, the storyline, for those of you who may not know about this game, because like I said, it may not be well known to a certain degree. Not to spoil everything, but you play as a new special police unit that deals with riots and whatnot. And you have to deal with this organized crime syndicate that basically acts more like a terrorist organization and so forth. And as for gameplay wise, yeah, it's pretty cool. As you know, well, to those who did play it, you know, you get a weapon. You start out with a handgun, and you start out with a riot shield, and then you get a stun gun. Those are the three things you pretty much start out with. And then when you unlock certain, when you finish a certain level and you do it properly, you unlock bonus levels, and when you beat those, you can unlock more weapons and so forth. And even though there's not a whole lot of weapons you get, but you can upgrade them and so forth. Like for example, like when you get the stun gun, which you pretty much get at the beginning, if you're able to take a certain amount of people alive, you may get a bonus. You unlock a shotgun and you can upgrade that. You can unlock a combat rifle and upgrade that. And then you can unlock riot grenades, smoke grenades, and so forth. So yeah, it's pretty fucking cool. But the thing I just kind of liked about this game, the thing I used to just like laugh about and just have a good time doing, it was with the riot shield. When you have that riot shield, you can literally use it as cover as you run up to the enemy, or run up to the bad guys, or the gangs, or whatever, whoever you're fighting. And you can just literally beat the shit out of them with it. Just beat the fuck out of them with it. It was just amazing. I mean, I don't know. I was just blown away. So, like, yeah, I just had fun doing that. And here's the thing, like, even though I didn't get the game till, like, later on, I mean, sadly, I don't have it at this time, because I moved on, but I don't know what happened to it, though. I don't remember. But I used to rent it multiple times at the video store until I finally got it myself. Eventually. I eventually got a copy. Well, actually, it was a gift I got, but when I did, sometimes I would just go back and just like replay the game and everything, replay the storyline, unlock everything again and everything. I remember doing that a couple times. So yeah, this was a pretty underrated game. I wish it had more recognition. who knows? You figured it would now, given the developer's reputation by now, because as you know, this was developed by Rocksteady, who most of you may know were the same people who were the developer who developed Batman Arkham Asylum and those series and whatnot. I was not a real fan of those and so forth. But this right here, Urban Chaos Riot Response, was their first game, I think, or was at least one of their first games if it wasn't their first. But yeah, pretty underrated game. For those of you who played it, I'm assuming you loved it. But if you didn't like it, like I said, it may not be everybody. It's just most people that I encounter seem to have said good things about it. Other than remember G4 TV X Play, you know, from that day, they gave it a 3 out of 5. I would have definitely not given a higher score than that, obviously. A 4 out of 5 or a 5 out of 5, I think they said it was because, I don't remember the whole review, but I think they said something about the graphics were not that great because it was 2006 and so forth. And that's true, and like I said, it was only available for PlayStation 2 and Xbox. It was not available for PlayStation 3 or Xbox 360, so there was that. But yeah, part of me wonders if that's the reason why it didn't get enough recognition. A part of me wonders maybe if it was available for PlayStation 3 and available for Xbox 360, maybe it would have got more recognition. Because keep in mind, it came out in between, like after the Xbox 360 was released in 2005, and right before the PlayStation 3 was released later that year in 2006. So who knows? Maybe that had something to do with it. I don't know. I just have a hard time thinking that I just have a hard time thinking that, you know, a lot of people would just pass by this game and says, oh, it blows, it's terrible. Now, yeah, people are entitled to their own opinion. And like I said, I'm just giving my perspective. Yes, I like this game and so forth, but everybody else who I've asked about this game and they know about it and they played it, they all said they liked it. So maybe I'm just coming off from that. And I know this is going a bit of a rant and so forth, and this is why I try not to do videos for too long. But hey, like I said, you probably could say this is probably my favorite game of all time, if not Resident Evil 4, the original. And well, like I said, if you were to put a top 5 or a top 10, obviously it's mostly going to be like Resident Evil games and so forth. But this would totally be in it. I would say this is probably the best. Even if I didn't think this was the best game of all time, I would say it's probably the best first-person shooter of all time. Because don't get me wrong, even though I'm not the biggest fan of first-person shooters, but out of all the first-person shooters I played, this is probably the one I had the most fun with. Because it was just fun going back and doing everything all over again and so forth. And yeah, it was just a lot of fun. I just wish it got more recognition. To anybody watching this, if you haven't heard of it, hopefully you do. Hopefully, even though it seems like a long shot, but hopefully it can get more recognition. Maybe it can get a remastered edition, or it can be released on, you know, PlayStation Classics or Xbox Classics, whatever. It doesn't matter to me. I'll play it. And for those of you who haven't played it, I highly recommend it if you have a PlayStation 2 or an original Xbox. I recommend it. It's fucking awesome. What else can I say? And yeah, this was, I don't know, I'm just going on a rant because this was a very underrated game, and I just think it had so much potential. if it got the recognition I think it deserves, because I think it's a very good game. So what can I say? I know this is like going over 15 minutes and so forth. I'm sorry. I kind of didn't really want it to be this long, but I can't help it. Like I said, if not, this could be my favorite game of all time. If not Resident Evil 4, the original. And even if it's not, it's definitely my favorite first person, or definitely one of them. And it was just very underrated, and I think, you know, and like I said, it has its flaws. I don't think it was flawless, but it was well enough to where, you know, I had fun with it, to where I would go back and just go back and start everything all over again. And even when I didn't, you know, go back and unlock everything and whatnot, I would just go back and replay certain levels and whatnot, try to achieve certain tasks or whatnot. So there you have it. But yeah, you get certain tasks, like try to take, because you know you get lethal weapons and non-lethal weapons. You take a certain amount of people alive with your non-lethal weapons. You get points for that. You get points for headshots, for like shooting people in the head, shooting the bad guys in the head and whatnot. So yeah. I don't know. Like I said, this was just a very underrated game, and I guess that's why I'm kind of just going on a rant now. I just wish it's got more recognition, and maybe it should have got more promotion. I don't know. Maybe if the game was promoted a little bit more, who knows? Maybe its popularity would have been much higher, because it probably would have been more noticed. But yeah, like I said, almost everybody I know who's played this game or tried this game said they liked it. And for those that didn't, that I came across, well, like I said, it was very few, and I don't remember. So if you did play this game and you didn't like it, hey, okay, cool. Like I said, I can't speak for everyone, but I'm just speaking to almost everyone I've encountered who had played this game. But yeah, not to go on a rant for too long, but yeah, just to wrap things up, yeah, happy 20-year anniversary to Urban Chaos Riot Response. An underrated game, a good game, a game that was so fucking awesome. I wish it would have got more recognition. I wish, you know, and more promotion, or who knows. I wish it would get a remastered edition, or at least be put on PlayStation Classics or Xbox Classics, so I can play it again. That way I don't have to go out and buy all the old consoles again. But if any of you have played this game, like it or don't like it, please do tell. The comments are open. And for those of you who didn't play it, I do think you missed out, especially if you were playing games in 2006 or 2007 or so forth. And I would say, if you haven't played this game, and I'll just say it again, if you haven't played this game but you got a PlayStation 2 or an original Xbox, I highly recommend this. Chances are you're probably going to have fun with it, because like I said, I can't speak for everybody, but almost everybody I've talked to who have played this game said that they all loved it. So yeah, that's where I'm coming at. And yeah, 20th anniversary, good game, underrated, but well deserved for a 20-year anniversary video. I can fucking guarantee you that. For those who may not agree, okay, that's cool. But yeah, this is almost 20 minutes, so I'm just gonna wrap it up and say, yeah, happy 20-year anniversary to the game Urban Chaos Riot Response. Underrated game. Fucking awesome. Hope it gets more recognition in the future, maybe in hopes for maybe a remastered edition, or maybe be put on the PlayStation Classics or the Xbox Classics. But yeah, that's all I'm going to say for right now. Happy 20-year anniversary to the game Urban Chaos Riot Response. And yeah, that's all I'm going to say for right now. This is Soldier 7. Take care.